YouTube has changed. YouTube has changed, you guys. And this isn't something that has happened recently. This is something that took place probably over the past decade. And so when I say YouTube has changed, this isn't something that happened like yesterday or anything like that. This isn't like some new update. This isn't some new trend per se. This is something that has been happening for a while. So I've been watching YouTube videos since probably like 2007, 2008. And at that point, YouTube, I think, was like 2 years old. It might have been started in '04 around there, but I don't know exactly when like most people were on YouTube. But I think it really got its start probably in like '06, '07 is when people were really starting to upload. And if you were around at that time, if you were watching YouTube, you know the kind of videos that people were posting, right? It was pretty low quality. I don't want to necessarily say low effort, but a lot different output as the videos that are coming out today. Not very well edited, which was fine for the time period. Weirdly enough, I was thinking about this the other day, but videos back then felt more spontaneous. And while people make some very incredibly creative videos today, I do think the level of creativity was still around back then. But that's kind of besides the point. What I really wanted to talk about today was how it's changed. Of course, like if you look back in '07, yeah, a lot has changed. The quality of videos, just how many people are making YouTube videos. Of course, people make money now off videos and sometimes a lot of money, right? And so these things that have changed, I think really stem back maybe as much as a decade, like I said. And so what are these things? Well, first thing I want to mention is when YouTube decided to kind of use an algorithm like these social media companies. So I think it technically started with YouTube Shorts. So of course, TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook, whatever, started these short form videos that you can swipe or just scroll through. So YouTube Shorts came about, I don't know the exact year, but it was a while ago. And that changed the landscape of YouTube forever, because now instead of watching long form videos, you can scroll like you do on TikTok with short form in the form of YouTube Shorts. So not only does YouTube feel more like a social media, but I feel like it's also just equally as addicting when you start going down a YouTube Shorts rabbit hole. But what I do want to mention is what the landscape of YouTube looks like nowadays. I feel like back in the day, YouTube was such a fun and, shall we say, less serious place. There was no algorithms, no YouTube Shorts, no nothing. If you wanted to search for a topic or a video, you had to go into the search bar and look up something. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know the last time I searched for a topic on YouTube. I've searched content creators on YouTube for various reasons, but I haven't really searched a topic in a while, right? And maybe you have. Maybe you're thinking, I search topics all the time, or I search for videos all the time. But really, whenever I log on to YouTube nowadays, it shows me probably especially when I'm on my computer, probably like 40 videos, right? Like my quote unquote recommended videos. And then below that, there's probably like 5 to 6 YouTube Shorts. And it's almost like this little entrapment to kind of keep you on YouTube and keep you watching, which I get. YouTube makes money through advertisements. And the more people are on, the more advertisements that are watched, the more money they make. I get it. But the quality of these videos that are made nowadays are actually incredible, right? There's actually very small YouTubers, obviously a lot bigger than me, but they make some incredible quality productions. Whatever it is, whether it's a conspiracy, for some reason conspiracy videos are popping up again on my recommended. But I also just watched this video the other day about BlackRock, the company, and how much they own when it comes to the assets and what they're doing and why it's, potentially bad they own as much as they do. And the people that are making these videos, they don't have large YouTube channels. Like we see channels like Mr. Beast that are in the hundreds of millions of subscribers, and there are people making some incredible, like that rival like YouTube or Netflix level editing and documentaries that are doing this with like under 100K subscribers. It's actually incredible. But where I'm going with that, and what I want to hit on with my first point is that YouTube feels a lot more serious than it used to. A lot of my recommended, unfortunately, has gone back to political things, conspiracies, and things that are not like necessarily making my day any better. So I feel like in a way, YouTube has almost become like the mainstream media where, and it's not YouTube's fault, but people post videos to create a reaction, to create people to like, to share, to comment, to grow their own personal brand. And it's kind of become like the mainstream media in a way. We've all these big creators and even small creators have become kind of like the mainstream media. And now you could say that these people aren't near as corrupt, or however you feel about the media, which I would agree with. A lot of these people make some fantastic videos, and they are in the pursuit of truth for the most part. But it's interesting how the landscape of YouTube has changed from an '07, like a grainy iPod Touch video recording, all the way up until what it is now, which is really what I would consider to be an algorithmic slop fest of just what video can produce the most clicks, likes, and comments. And so while I really enjoy YouTube at its core, and maybe it's partially my fault in the algorithm that I have because of the videos that I watch, but my YouTube algorithm is not necessarily what I would consider friendly. And I know that's an interesting term to use, and I'm kind of just spitballing for the most part, but YouTube feels dark. It feels harsh, and it doesn't feel as fun as it used to feel. And as somebody who's been around the YouTube scene since around '07, like I said, things used to be different. And I don't know if that's just me getting older or the internet evolving and changing, but things feel a lot deeper and potentially darker now. I would care to say that having all the information you could ever want right at your fingertips is something that isn't maybe as useful as we thought. While there is a lot of good that comes from that, I think there's a lot of bad. Anyway, I don't really know where I was going with this video. If it doesn't make any sense, I'm sorry. However, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Has YouTube changed for the better or maybe for the worse? Or do you feel like YouTube is different? Like, obviously it's different in many ways, as I said. But is it different in a way that you can't necessarily describe? Because I think through the course of this video so far, I haven't really described it maybe in the best way. But it's different, and I'm not sure where it will go, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And more videos to come, guys. Peace.